Um, Welcome to our quarterly Connected Home Council webinar meeting. My name is Marta Kopatowska of ASHB. I'll be emceeing the slides today. Before we begin, I do want to mention that we are recording today's webinar meeting, and we will distribute it to those who registered along with a link to the presentation slides. I also do want to mention for anyone that is new to our council meetings, note that you will have the ability to unmute yourself if you'd like. You could participate in the meeting if you'd like, but most importantly, it is open for those who would like to ask any questions of the keynote once their presentation is over. So I'll just mention that if you are interested in doing that, you could just raise your hand, and then when the time comes, we'll just call your name and feel free to ask the question. You can also utilize the comment box as well as the question box to ask any questions or make any comments as well. With that, I will pass it along to Greg to go over our agenda for today.
Thanks, Marta. I'll briefly go over the agenda, and then pass it off to Ken. So this meeting, we'll start off with obviously the agenda, and then Ken Wax will be doing a call to order, a welcome introductions, a little bit about the CHC, and then we have an appointment of new vice chairs with Ken, and some administrative items where we're approving the past minutes. So anyone can just first and second those minutes and come off mute, or just type it in the box. Then going into a brief research update of some of the work that Harbor Research is doing with the CHC Landmark Research Project for 2024, and then a keynote presentation by Joshua Gerena from Access Communications and 2N, unleashing the power of the smart home security. And finally, we'll be going over some information about the ASHB Journal, the ASHB white papers. Marta will be talking about the ASHB podcasts, the ones that have recently been completed and upcoming, and then some announcements of upcoming smart home events in the space. So with that, I'll pass off to Ken, the chair of the CHC.
Well, thank you very much for calling the meeting to order, Greg. Welcome, everybody. My name is Ken Wax. I've been involved with CABA almost since the inception. I think my first CABA meeting was about 1990. I run a management consulting business that's been around for quite a while, focusing in the fields of home automation, building control, and energy management. I'm also chair of the World Standards Body, developing ISO and IEC standards in these fields. So CABA is a very important organization, that Association of Smarter Homes and Buildings is the rebranding of CABA. The rebranding was done a couple of years ago, and ASHB is one of the most important neutral sources of information in the industry. The Connected Home Council was established in 2004. CHC initiates and reviews projects that relate to the connected home and multiple dwelling unit technologies and applications. CHC also examines industry opportunities that can accelerate the adoption of new technologies, consumer electronics, and broadband services within the growing connected home market. CHC webinars and research topics explore industry shaping trends and forces, and the use of technology to make connected homes more flexible, adaptable, and human-centric. I'm very pleased to announce that we have appointed a new vice chair. We'd like to welcome Joshua Gerena of 2N Access Communications to the Connected Home Council. Joshua is a seasoned professional in the commercial real estate sector, currently working with Access Communications and enhancing their presence in the Americas as their segment development manager. Josh has more than 20 years in low voltage, electrical, and electronic manufacturing industries, specializing in audio, video, and access control systems, with a focus on smart technology to drive innovation. His career includes roles such as sales director and sales manager, where he has successfully led sales teams and developed strategic partnerships. He is highly credentialed expert and is an alumnus of the Institute of Audio Research in New York City. He holds multiple certifications, including MCSE, MCSA, and CCNP, which I'm sure Josh can explain to us. And it underscores his profound technical knowledge and commitment to excellence. It's my pleasure to welcome Josh to ASHB as CHC Vice Chair. Josh, you're welcome to say a brief hello, and I believe you will be speaking to us more.
Thank you for those words. You made me feel bigger. My head kind of grew right now, but it is a pleasure for sure to be a part of this amazing company and association. And I'm happy to be here, and hopefully I am able to give some good knowledge out there for this security world which I live in every day, right? So thank you.
Very welcome. I look forward to working with you, Josh. At this point, we have an administrative matter to do to approve the minutes from the previous meeting we held on March 12th. So is there anyone who would like to make a motion to approve these minutes? All we need is one at this point.
So moved, Colin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Do we have a second to the motion? So let's hear someone second the motion so we can move on. Hey. Can I second the motion?
Yes, you can, Ken.
So moved. Well, with that, I'll say the motion passes and the minutes are approved. So Greg, take it away.
Thanks, Ken. I'll just be I'll give a brief overview of this current research project. So as most of you know, we do these collaborative research projects, really crowdfunding of research that we've been doing since I believe 2000 or 2002, and we're doing one in residential and one in large building every year. We're actually doing two in the large building side, and this project, we're pooling the funds from some of the funders that you see on the screen here, and we're creating this $50,000 research project on the smart home space. So this one looks at technology trends and adoption. We went to an RFP and we got bids back in, and the initial funders selected Harbor Research to conduct the research project. And it's going to be in a similar vein as it was last year, in terms of size and scope, and actually some of the format as well. But we're looking at doing 500 consumer surveys across North America, Canada, the US, looking at basically gaining perspectives from operators and from those that have stake in the smart home space. Doing a couple of configured research projects as well, and then this is going to look at the dedicated 100 analyst hours into various two specific topics. One of them's the smart home hubs and some interaction trends between these hubs, and then the other one is privacy, cybersecurity, and data sharing. And then we have a series of steering committee meetings throughout the year, and the idea is we're going to complete these 3 reports and release them as they're completed, and complete this project in 2024. So they're still interested in there's still time to get involved in the research if you're interested. The cost is $5,000 to join the research, or $10,000 to be on the steering committee to shape the topics and the trends, and get updates on the report and review some of the final materials. And then they get a special webinar at the end of the project for those steering committee members, just for their organization. So if there is some interest, feel free to talk to myself or Marta or anyone else from ASHB, and we can definitely have a call. But with that, I'll pass it off to back to you, Ken, to go over the keynote presentation.
Ken, I think Charlie's not with us today, so if you'd like, I can just do a brief introduction to our keynote today. I think Ken should be okay with that. I don't hear him.
Yeah,
Ken,
I'm here. I am here.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Thank you. Let me introduce our keynote speaker, Josh Gerena, who I just introduced as our new VP, will be addressing us on connected living, unleashing the power of smart home security. We have 30 minutes for the presentation and 15 minutes for questions and answers. Let me give you a synopsis of the presentation. Josh will delve into the world of connected living and explore how smart home security solutions are transforming the way we protect and interact with our homes and visitors. From advanced video intercom systems and closed-circuit television, that's CCTV surveillance, to cutting-edge access control with remote capabilities, Josh will uncover the endless possibilities that arise when technology and security converge. Josh, the floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Give me 1 second. Please let me know once you guys see my screen.
You're good, Josh.
Yep.
Good.
A little artistic, I guess, with, I see blue streaks.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this real quick, and I promise not to keep you guys here too long, but going into what's unleashing the power of smart home security. So everyone probably in this call has heard in some level of smart homes, right? Everything that's going on, from controlling different curtains in your house, lighting, etc. But a lot of people don't know that that same technology is also merged in with the security, the smart home security side of things. A lot of these features from the security world actually works together with these things, right? Like triggering lights and stuff like that. And we'll go into this a little bit more as we continue here. So unleashing the power of smart homes. So what is a smart home security system? From my perspective and what I do daily, smart home security refers to the integration of smart technology, devices, home security systems to enhance security, safety, and convenience, and allowing people to be able to control these type of systems. These systems leverage, most of the time, internet connectivity, automation, advanced sensors to provide comprehensive monitoring and protection to residential properties and so forth. So what are some of the key components of a security system typically in a home, right? So it starts with, what we've seen for many years from video cameras, right? In this day and age, we have smart video cameras, and I'll go in a little bit more. What does that mean? Then we got wireless lock sets. We have door cameras or video intercoms, however you're comfortable calling it. The most common known out there is video intercoms. Then motion sensors, and motion sensors is also attached to everything that has to do with analytics, and analytics could be used throughout any type of product, including cameras, to be able to detect different things. Then we have mobile application, allowing the person at that home to be able to either from a physical unit inside the house to manage the video doors or the videos that are being recorded in the homes and so forth, to seeing your complete surveillance system, to then also adding a little portion of IP audio. And let's start with that. So when I look at a smart home, and when I was actually designing stuff and focus on doing that type of stuff, I always started with video intercom. Video intercom has been something that I've been selling for a long, long time in my career. So I'm a big believer of this. And as you guys know, the Googles of the world, the Amazons of the world has developed products for that. And you would think this product and these type of technologies are new. The reality is the first video doorbell for residential home was created by an inventor, Marie Van Britten, in 1966. So this been around for a long time. This lady patented the early version of home security system, which included video surveillance systems, and her design featured cameras that were able to slide up and down. And I don't know if you guys I was born in 77, but I do remember these technologies where the peephole had a little bit, either an analog camera or just a peephole that you were able to slide up and down. And this lady was one of the original ones to be able to create that technology specifically with video intercoms in these units, right? But the IP world, which is what really changed everything, the first video intercom actually was produced by one of the companies that I represent, which was 2N. They created the first IP intercom in 2007. And in 2008 was when they delivered the first one. So when you look at these different companies out in the world, this tech been around for quite a long time, but it changed everything, especially when you're looking at it from a security side of things. To me, why you start first with a video intercom in a residential unit is because most likely when someone is going to your house, the first place they're going to go to is probably your front door. If you look at news, you look at media of crimes and different things that are happening, these video intercoms are becoming so popular in creating deterrence from people to creating, to doing a crime or robbing or package delivery, or they're able to be able to trace and see these things before they actually happen, because IP has gone so far ahead, where these type of products like video intercoms now can integrate motion detection and different type of video analytics, that instead of being something that you find out later on after the crime was done, it could create that preventative situation in your place where you're receiving these alerts. You as a home owner or a property owner are able to log into that camera while it's happening and speak to this person and say, we called the police, they're on their way, you're being recorded, etc. So to me, when you're looking at a security system from a home, it should always start with the simplicity of replacing that old doorbell that you had in your house with some sort of technology like a video intercom. Then added to that is the smart locks. And a lot of people are still a little bit scared of this, but I could tell you out of my own experience what I went through and why I did this in my home. In my home, I call it a big robot, because every tech that comes out, I test it out here before I even speak about it, right? So a couple of years back, and probably a lot of people have gone through this in their life, my kids were really good at losing keys. And this was a constant thing where they were losing keys, and it doesn't matter what you did, there was a key getting lost. And I either had to replace the unit, because I remember at times my wife would put like a little kind of keychain that had the name and address of the person, which was not a good idea in my mind, but this was put in these things, and if my kid lost the key, then whoever found it also knows where the address is at. So this became expensive for me. I was changing lock sets all the time, and I decided to test out a couple of different lock sets, and we've been there ever since. And my kids now, my youngest kid is 19 years old. He's in the military and in school, and we've been using this for quite a long time, since they were in middle school. And it's been a blessing. And the way that we utilize this within with our overall security system, specifically with doorbells and video cameras, is this way. So this is the first scenario that I have. Basically, a person comes to the door. They choose to either press the button on the door station. The door station then calls into either a master station inside the house. This is technology that is still used in very high-end homes or in multi-unit buildings, or you choose to use a mobile application like a Crestron or maybe a mobile application from the actual app to either choose to talk to that person, ignore them, just view them, or you know what? Yeah, let's hit talk. Let's talk to this person and then send the signal out from there to unlock the door, allowing them to come in. So that's one of the ways that we're utilizing security products within the residential homes, right? Then we go into the whole camera side, and a lot of people say, what does this have to do with the other? And it does. There's so much integration out there where these systems could be implemented into your homes where they're actually talking to each other. One thing that I do here in my house, I have a camera in my garage. I got a 3-car garage. And at one point, I have no clue how Alexa, actually Amazon Key was enabled. I never did it, but I guess automatically back then it will enable that. And I was getting these messages from Alexa saying your garage door is open, and that freaked me out. So I quickly put a camera in there. I eliminated the Amazon Key from my home because I just didn't feel comfortable with it. But I started using analytics from video cameras to be able to trigger my garage doors to close. So for example, if the bay number 1, my house has 3-car garage, bay number 1 opens up, my kids are super famous doing this. They'll come and open the garage, not lock it. So I have an analytic on there that is a smart analytic built into these cameras that actually after a certain amount of time, if there's no one there present, it automatically will send a signal out to my garage door opener, close and will actually close the garage for me. These systems at the same time can send the different messages to your mobile application, letting you know what's going on throughout your home. So there's different ways of leveraging this type of technology. One way that I do it here at my house, especially during the COVID times, I was using this technology the most. So let's say someone comes to your house, one of your cameras picks up that there's motion of a person there. It immediately can alert me through a mobile application, through email, however you set it up. I'm able to remote into that system immediately. If the person goes towards my video door station, then that's fine. I'll talk to them through that application using my mobile application. Everything was triggered. If you think about it, it was all started through the video camera, now sending signals to my mobile application, then my video intercom in the door taking over the conversation. And I go in even deeper with this system because I leverage every single aspect of audio. So a lot of homes nowadays are putting audio devices outside of their homes to play music, to when they're having, have people out in their deck. In my home, I use it differently. It all started again through COVID. We had this little bear that used to come up by our house, and annoyingly will grab our garbage can and he'll do his own picnic outside. And I had to think out of the box. I was really tired of going outside and picking up garbage all over the place from this animal. So I was able to use cameras and use IP, speakers to be able to trigger different noises and messages depending on what it was. Because cameras nowadays are so ahead of times where they could notify you if it's a human being, if it's a car, or is there something else there, right? So utilizing that type of technology, I was able to create a pre-recorded message or an alarm alert to actually deter that animal from coming into my trash cans. So what I did, I created this kind of little invisible wall around my trash cans that every time something was there for a certain amount of time, it would trigger that message or that noise to be able to deter what was there to make it go away. But
may I ask, did it work?
It did. It did. Yeah, I have a lot of videos of, I think I put them on LinkedIn before, and the last one that we had was in 2021 after I put the the speaker there, that little boy doesn't come over here, and if he does, he's not there for a long time. He's scared, gets scared, and starts running. So it does run, but this tech, you know, going forward, this tech is used for much more than that. You can use this camera again to detect if it's a human, if it's a car, or it's something else. This also helps you getting a lot of false alerts. A lot of these type of video, specifically the lower end video cameras, and a lot of these video intercoms that are in the market, the annoying part of them is that when you're receiving a motion, a lot of times it's just a leaf that moved. But sometimes it's just the sun went down and now you have some sort of shadow creeping up in there. So because technology has gone so far ahead of time, where even utilizing things like AI within cameras, that in our world, specifically in the camera world, AI has been something that we've been working with for quite a long time. I know it's something that's now like really popular, you know, with ChatGPT and all these things. Now everyone is talking AI, but it's been around for quite a bit. So utilizing these type of systems that actually could learn what goes on in your area, what it does enables you to receive less type of those annoying alerts, and it focuses on people, it focuses on cars instead of focusing on everything else. So for example, I have a person coming up to my driveway, my camera picks it up, the camera detects is a person. At that point, my camera will send out an alert to myself, to my wife, to whoever wants that alert, right? So you could choose in your home who wants it. Not everyone likes that stuff. At that point, I could choose to go in and view who it is. I could choose to wait for the person to come to my front door. And at that point, if I see that the person is not at my front door, the camera could be set up to automatically trigger the speaker to deter anything that's going on, an intruder or whatever, for them to be able to go away or not, right? So if I see the person coming to my front door, then I'll go ahead and answer it through my video intercom. But if I see the person is walking through the side of my house, at that point, I could have that camera set up where it's actually going to automatically trigger a message to the speaker alerting them you're not supposed to be there. The security is being called. I am here. Please leave my premises, whatever you want. And this all could be done through systems that are already out there. We've done similar things out there with the Crestcrons of the world, with the Savants of the world. So this is not something that it's new out there. It's something that a lot of times people don't know it could be done. These same type of systems I also use for my yard when I have an event going on in my deck and I want to play some background music. But these systems, instead of just utilizing them for security, I'm able to use them for these different type of scenarios. And what this allows me is to actually create a full security system that will cover every aspect of security in my home. These same products could be interconnected into your alarm system, right? So if you see something specifically going on and you wanted to trigger a message or a silent message to trigger your alarm through a relay, making, you know, maybe a 911 silent call, this could be done utilizing all this type of tech, utilizing your video intercom, your cameras, and all these type of technologies that are out there to serve this type of purpose. And this is there. This is not going anywhere. It's not, I remember in 2014, it's not even that far when people said, oh, I don't want another application in my phone. No, I do not care to receive these things. It went from that to I want more, right? So there's so much products out there now that are able to give you all these options and this power in the palm of your hand, and you control it as much as you want. If you don't want to receive as much motions, you could set that up to get the minimum stuff, right? You could draw the different areas specifically that you want to monitor in your homes where you will receive an alert and an alarm and so forth. One thing that I do in my house also is after 9 o'clock at night, if someone not necessarily comes to my driveway, but if they come to my front door, if I'm not home, this could trigger my lights to turn on. So I have it set up where if someone comes up at a certain time, I do it also in my driveway, but if it comes at a certain time, my lights would go on. And I did this based on package, delivery issues that I had in the past where things were disappearing. Now it kind of scares that person from doing whatever they're doing. And at the same time, it kind of gives them the feeling that there's someone here home and allows me to prevent. At the end of the day, I look at IP cameras, and if you think about 10, 20 years ago when they were not using analytics and these type of technologies within cameras, it was always, let me view the video to see what happened. And in reality, that's not what you want. You want to be able to prevent anything from happening now versus, oh, let me find out who stole my this or who stole this or who went into my home. In my mind, I'd rather prevent that. So if we have these technologies out there that a lot of times is in your system, you don't even know that it's in there, it's just not enabled. Why not use it to prevent? And that is all for me. I told you I wanted to keep it straight, short, and sweet for you guys. If anyone has questions, this is definitely the time to shoot them over.
We have reserved time for questions, Josh. So
Okay.
Let's see what we have. I'm checking the chat. No questions in the chat. Would anyone like to ask a question? Marta, has everyone's microphone been opened now?
Yes, yes, they have.
We have a comment from Elizabeth Parks. Elizabeth runs a market research firm and focuses on the security market. And she writes, great presentation and use cases.
Thank
She
you.
asked, can you explain more on position of residential versus commercial?
So yeah, so if you're talking about the whole security, so we do have a lot of in the residential market, a lot of homes. I can't really tell you who it is because of NDA and stuff like that, but there's a lot of different residential homes from the government side to the non-government side that utilize a lot of this tech. But day in, day out is becoming a little bit more popular with your common folks and your common areas here. For example, I'm in the state of New Jersey, and I have a ton of different clients and people that are actually using this specifically because of the amount of package delivery theft that's going on.
So when you
with
say you
COVID.
protect government homes, you mean government officials at
Yeah,
the
different
residence?
government officials definitely use this. This actually started in that realm. That's really where all these type of tech started being used. Years ago, I was part of a company that did a lot of perimeter security. And within that, we did a lot of VIP type homes is what we call them, where they started using these things. But what we did was simplify things, right? Making it more affordable now for people to have the different level of cameras that are maybe not that pricey to be able to add these things. And there's a lot of stuff in the market already from the Amazons and
So Elizabeth added the comment that government officials might be protected, especially because of the enterprise government business.
correct.
So in other words, there's sort of a relationship to the commercial side. She asked as a follow-up, are you all selling to everyday consumers? And if you did, how would you sell, through retail or through dealers?
So we do. So we sell to everyone in the New York market specifically. We sell strictly, at least my company, we sell directly through distribution. So a dealer purchases these products through distribution. The regular consumer at times is not able to buy them directly.
So does the consumer know the brand name 2N, or are you selling it white labeled?
So it depends. So we have with Savant, specifically Savant and Control 4, they actually sell these products directly. So they OEM our devices and they actually sell them directly from there. And the consumer at that point could buy it directly from Savant.
She asked if you offer pro monitoring for the cameras at home.
We do not. We leave that to the installer and everyone else. I'm the manufacturer. I'm just building the hardware out there.
Okay, so then it's the dealer integrator who would then put together the package
That's
with either
correct.
local or professional monitoring.
Yeah, you have like for example, the ADTs of the world. They're part of our team. The Tyco Securities, those type of companies already have these type of systems in there.
Mm-hmm. So Elizabeth, thank you for those clear answers. Who else would like to ask questions of Josh?
We have a question in our question box from Brian Holland, who asks, are there any issues with preventing false alarms, such as state or local laws surrounding enhanced call verification?
Repeat that again one more time.
So it's in the question box there, Josh, if you'd like to.
I'll read it again.
Yeah, thanks, Ken.
Brian Holland asked, are there any issues with preventing false alarms, such as state or local laws surrounding, quote, enhanced call verification? In other words, do you have to provide additional screening before you send off a request for government help?
I've never ran into that. Normally, we just had something go on like that, and we were just send out the video footage of it. Normally, if there's a person involved, that's when police gets a little bit funny about it. If it's showing someone else that's not supposed to, like a neighbor or something like that. But for the most part, I've never ran into that. There is you see this more when you're dealing more in the multi-tenant space and you're out in the city.
Well, we did learn recently in
yeah.
the Connections conference that Elizabeth Parks held that some communities are very reluctant to send the police because an alarm got tripped or a central monitoring station reports a motion detector or a perimeter detector went off, that they want a little more assurance that it was not a false alarm.
Yeah, and that's correct. And that does happen a lot. I've seen that in states like Florida, where they have these residential communities that are close communities. At that point, it's up to that residents if they want to share more of the analytics or the videos that they have in these areas to be able to, with video cameras, it's so simple to be able to capture these things and see what really is going on in those areas. And that is true. In certain communities, police will not go out until they have verified that this is actually a legit issue or there's something going on there. But every state is different, every community is different, every residential area is different. That's basically
I guess the bottom line question is this in the domain of 2N, or do you leave it up to your retailer integrators?
Yeah, that's basically the way it's set up, really, from the integrator side. We're just giving you a lot of the tech in there already, and it's up to you to enable it, disable it, or use it or not. At the end of the day, the end client will ask for what they want. You know, when you look at things like facial recognition and stuff like that, is a conversation that gets a little iffy, but it's based on that client. So we leave it to them to enable this or choose it or not. We just create the product.
Marta, do we have time for one more question, maybe?
We do. If anyone would like to either raise their hands or if they'd like to put a question in the question or comment box.
So you have three options. You can type in a comment, you can type in a question, or just speak up. We are listening. Well, Josh, you've given us a lot of information and insight into the security industry. We thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
So, want to move on now and tell you about some other activities that are relevant and could provide some useful information for your business in the connected home market. ASHB has been publishing a journal. It started under the CABA Quarterly, and then it became iHomes and Buildings. Now it's branded as the ASHB Journal. It's very free form. You can submit an article on almost any relevant topic in the connected home or intelligent building space. Marta is showing you on the screen some of our recent publications. I've written a series of articles on energy management. As long as you're within the scope of the organization, we welcome your contribution. There is no hard word count limit. This is web publication. We can accommodate anything that you can draw on the web, line art, or put in a photograph, we can handle on the website. So please consider this. It's much simpler than going for a professional publication like IEEE or others. There's no forms to fill out, and just write on a relevant topic and contact Marta, and she will help you compose the article and put it into the form that can be published on the web. And companion to that, let me just mention that the Publications Review Committee at CABA has a library of works published elsewhere, typically in the trade press. We vet these articles before we make them available for CABA members, so you can be assured that the article has been screened and is relevant and is not overtly commercial. We do allow publications that mention commercial products, but we don't like papers that say, I build this widget and I'm the only one in town and you got to buy it from me. So other than that, and I'm sure none of you would do that, we will accept publications that were first introduced elsewhere and make them known to the ASHB members. Within the Connected Home Council, we do have a white papers program where we produce original papers, whereas the Publications Review Committee searches the world for papers. Here we originate the papers specifically targeted the connected home market. We are in the process of developing a new white paper that was proposed by Jerry Overton from Applied AI Studios, and we're forming a working group under his leadership to help develop a paper entitled AI-Powered Smart Homes, Revolutionizing Caregiving for Aging and Disabilities. We're aiming in this project to explore advanced AI solutions that enhance safety and support for elderly and disabled individuals in their homes. Our focus will be on identifying and filling market gaps related to accessibility, usability, and affordability, as well as creating inclusive and innovative solutions. So we're looking for volunteers to work with Jerry. And some of the activities will range from the initial formation and research phase to the drafting and finalizing of the white paper, incorporating stakeholder feedback throughout the the process of developing this paper. So the bottom line is that Jerry Overton will take the leadership, and you're welcome to participate. Please reach out to ASHB. You just can send an email, as you can see there, to admin@ashb.com, and Marta will help you connect with Jerry.
And Ken, I can actually take over for this one here for our
Okay.
podcast. Just real quickly, for some of you who are already aware, ASHB has a podcast on smarter homes and buildings, really any topic related to those two fields. We're looking for guests and hosts. There's a lot of flexibility in terms of timing and who participates. So if you'd like to be a host and you have a guest in mind, you can let us know. Just email us on the email on screen there, and we'll be happy to go over some details and advise you on what the steps are. Our most recent episodes explore topics such as the evolution of fire and safety technologies and the collaborative efforts in solar energy. If you'd like to access our recently recorded podcasts, you can visit our website at ashb.com/podcast. And with that,
How big is our library, Marta? How many podcasts?
I believe we are on our 15th episode so far, Ken. Yeah, so we're about 1.5 years, 2 years in, and we're 15 episodes in. So we have quite a few in line, but we always want more.
Thank you very much, Marta. So now we ask if anyone has new business, new topics we should address, new proposals for keynote speakers, white papers, projects, etc. Anytime you have ideas, please contact Marta. You also can reach out to me if you'd like. You can find my contact data at kenwax.com. So last opportunity for anyone who's got an idea they would like to discuss, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll tell you about upcoming events. Let's see, Charlie is not here. Do you want me to read this, or you want to tell us, Greg?
Sure, I can tell you. Well, we're having the Connections is having an event coming up from Parks Associates. It's a virtual event coming up June 13th. And there's another one in December, and there's some virtual sessions there. There's the Shanghai Smart Home Technology Show in Shanghai, China. That's always a large international event. And then probably more applicable to the folks on the call would probably be the CEDIA Expo, which takes place in September 5th to 7th in Denver. We'll be at that event and most likely having a booth and participating at that event as well. And then another parks event is happening in September as well on Smart Spaces. And there's obviously other events, and we have more events listed on our calendar. We have some endorsed events, non-endorsed events, but those are the ones that are applicable specifically to the smart home space.
If I might add, Greg, Elizabeth Parks, the president and CMO of Parks Associates, just held a face-to-face conference for Connections. So the virtual sessions are companions to the on-site meeting that was just held 2 weeks ago in Plano, Texas, near Dallas. But I wanted to mention that Elizabeth will be the featured speaker on May 31st at a Zoom meeting that I'll be chairing for the Interstate Renewable Energy Council, IREC. I chair the Customer Grid Edge Committee, where we investigate all things behind the meter or on-premises energy management to help consumers manage local power generation from wind and solar manage storage, and integrate locally generated power with grid power. So Elizabeth is going to be speaking at 1:30 Eastern at the IRAC Customer Grid Edge Committee. If anyone is interested, there is no charge. And just search for IREC space CGE. You'll come to the page where you can sign up to get on the mailing list. The formal announcement will be going out a couple of times next week in advance of Elizabeth's presentations. The CGE meetings are held usually a couple of times a month on Friday afternoons via Zoom. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Ken.
So I want to tell you that we meet quarterly. Our next meeting is in August. And again, if anyone has ideas for topics, if you'd like to be a speaker, if you'd like to recommend a speaker, if you'd like us to find a speaker on a topic you think is particularly relevant or a hot topic that's important in your business, please contact Marta. Just write to the email address that you see on the left, admin@ashb.com. And with that, I'd like to report, Greg, I believe we've gone through the entire agenda, and I'll let you do the closing.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Ken. So I guess with that we could just end the meeting. But we just keep in mind that we did all this meeting is recorded and we're posting it on the website at the ashb.com/chc, and we'll be sending the minutes out to everyone that participated. But if anyone's interested in giving a presentation, feel free to reach out. But thanks a lot for your attendance today.